Zoe, I'm going to cook you a black rice dessert. I've had a black rice savoury with seafood.
I like it.
And now we've got the dessert. So
I like it.
you like that? It's going to be nice and healthy.
Is this going to be as nutritious?
I think so. It's going to have some sugar in it. But I think most of the stuff you really like, apart from the sugar and the amount that I put in, it's probably more the amount that I use that actually drives you nuts. But what I've got here, I've got my pan on here. It's at a moderate heat. Now, I've got some butter. Now, Zoe, I've got some pandan leaf here.
Fabulous.
So I want you to pull off 2 of those leaves and tie them up in knots, and I'm going to throw them in. So I love the flavour that the pandan gives.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's got this lovely earthiness. It's really nice.
And, you know, whenever you go into an Asian restaurant, an Asian shop, and they've got the desserts there, you really smell that pandan leaves. That's what it is. Ooh. Now, you like that?
It almost smells a little like spirulina.
Spirulina?
Because it would be, because it's one of those grasses from, you know, that grows in water, so...
Spirulina sounds like one of those torturous things that you'd put in a glass and feed me when I'm not feeling well, is that right?
I tried to make him drink it the other day. It didn't go down too well.
There we go. That's what happens. Now, I've got some spice in here. We want some lovely flavour. Got a cinnamon quill here. You could put cinnamon powder in if you want, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with the quill.
For blood sugar levels.
I love it, and it simmers away for a while. You get lovely flavour in it. Yeah. I've got some star anise here, which I love star anise. The shape's got that...
And the like that... aniseedy smell. You know, anything that has that licorice aniseedy is incredible for your digestion.
It's fantastic. And I just love it. I love the look of it. You know, I think it looks great and the flavour's good. And I've got some cardamom. I love cardamom. These are in their pod. You can buy it powdered or little ones. You know, if you fry them, they'll pop open. But we're just going to let them cook all the way through. Some people don't like to have spice all the way through their dishes, so they might put it in a little piece of muslin or something and tie it onto the side if you like. Me, I throw the whole thing in. I've got my butter, a nice big knob of butter in there, and we'll just melt that gently. The butter will sort of...
You could also use coconut oil, seeing as that we're going to be using coconut in this.
Did you say butter? I thought you said butter. There we go. I love butter. I know the coconut oil is lovely.
I know. I'm just simply giving options. That's all. I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
But butter tastes so good, Zoe.
It does. I like butter.
How could you not?
No, I love the taste of butter.
But have a look at this black rice. I mean, it's got a lovely colour to it. It's sort of got the texture and consistency of wholemeal rice, I suppose.
It's low GI, it's gluten-free, and it actually contains protein as well. So
there we go.
It's a really good alternative to some of the other things you might use to make a really indulgent dessert.
Kaffir lime leaf, in it goes. There we go. And to get some flavour out liquid, I'm going to add coconut water, pure coconut water. You know, nice. Now the ratio, that's come to the ball straight away. Lovely flavour in there already. The ratio of this black rice is 1 part black rice, so 1 cup of black rice to 1 3/4 cups of liquid. And, you know, then you just need to pop the lid onto it and let it absorb. It takes about 20 minutes or so.
Not only have you got your low GI rice, you've got your high electrolyte hydrating coconut water.
Exactly, all the right things in here until I add the sugar, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here goes the pandan leaves, and I'm going to get you to pass me some sugar because it's not dessert unless it's sweet. So you might want to turn away for a second here, Zoe, just to.
Not sure I even want to know.
I'm going to add just 1 level teaspoon of brown sugar in there. There we go. It's not really, Zoe, but I just sort of put it in there. Now stir that in.
We know how it works.
Now, the thing is, when you're cooking rice in a pot like this, make sure all the rice is off the edges and in the bottom so it can actually absorb all the liquid. If you leave rice on the side of it, you know, when it's cooked, you'll get those few bits of raw rice in there. Crunchy, horrible. The lid goes on. This I'll turn down to my lowest setting. I'll pop the lid on and let it absorb away. Like I said, 20 minutes or so. I'll let it stand there for about 5 minutes just to absorb the last little bits of moisture, and then we'll finish it off with some coconut cream. Have a smell of that, Zoe.
Beautiful. I can smell that pandan.
Really, yeah, beautiful. And the coconut really as well. It's got a really strong coconut flavour to it.
Yeah.
I mean, using the coconut water and then...
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a really good way to add, instead of using conventional water, the coconut water's fabulous.
Exactly. And then I stir a bit of coconut cream through it. I would normally put a big dollop of cream on top of it, but coconut cream, that's the flavour we're going for.
And the great thing is that nutritionally, people are starting to understand that coconut is a plant-saturated fat, so that's absolutely fine. And animal-saturated fat is also fine in small amounts.
And it's good for you, apparently. There you go.
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to pour a little bit, because we've got such a black rice there. Beautiful. I mean, both the dishes I've done have been black rice. A little bit of the coconut cream over the top.
The colour distinction is beautiful.
Zoe, I need you to scoop some ice cream onto here. I think it's a crack of a dish like this. I mean, being a rice dish, it is quite filling. This is a very large portion. You only want a small amount of it because it's going to fill you up straight away, especially if you've had the 2 dishes that we've had already.
We have. Wow.
But have a taste of that. Oh, look at that. The coconut cream works really well with it. Great flavour to it. The spice in there as well, the pandan leaves, crack of a dish, like nice and sweet, which is what I like.
Very, very sweet, probably a little too sweet for me, but it is a very rich, indulgent, as was your other dish, I might add. Mine a little healthier, but it really does show how versatile rice can be.